Hey you guys, it's Wednesday, and that means it's time for our installment on the lace knit along for the Rosita shawl. Here it is right here. I have gone through, here's where I am so far. I worked like a busy bee, and I've gone through the first chart. I'm on that very top row, and I have misplaced my highlighter tape. So, handy hint, a stand-in when you don't have highlighter tape nearby is a post-it note. Now, I will tell you, the post-it note is not as stable as highlighter tape. So because I'm only knitting on this in my chair that you can see, in my chair, it's stable. This sits right next to my chair in a basket. It doesn't get jostled around. When I put the post-it note on, it stays. So this is working well for now. Now, let's see, handy hints. It's been a pretty easy knit. This is exactly as it reads. You do full repeats of every row. The red lines were a little bit of a, I'm going to move my elbow so I can rest. The red lines were a little off-putting for me because usually red lines in a chart, to me anyway, means repeat. But in this instance, you're repeating the whole row. So when we go from make one all the way across, we're going beyond the red lines. I don't know. I think it's just a marker for 10 stitches, I guess. I'll have to ask Kelly what she meant by that. I can't ask her. The author is available. But I don't see anything that reads it. Maybe I missed it. I'll look. But so far, I'm going all the way across the marker. Those red lines do not mean repeat. They are just sort of an eyeball mark it. And I could have put stitch markers there. I have not yet. I may need to. There was something said about, I'm going to read this. On subsequent repeats, you may need to repeat the stitches between the stars as necessary, but that's the full repeat. Where are the braces? I'm just looking to see if anything says the lines. Nope, they're just marked there to help you guide your eye, I guess. It is, I know that it's acting as a repeat of the motif, so maybe that's what it's there for, is to guide that. But let me pull up my knitting and I'll show you what we've got. All right, so here is, I'm going to show you the front. Here is, I'm still working on straight needles. It's getting a little tight. I think I'm about halfway. I have the finished shawl right behind me here, so I'll show that to you in just a minute. I'm about halfway. I am one row, like I said, before I finish the first full graph. And there will be, I think, let me go check actually. 3 times. So I am 1/3 of the way through the main body of this shawl, and it's that long unblocked. So I'm about, I don't know, 10 inches unblocked. I've got 2 more repeats to do, and they should be able to crank this out this week easy. Let me pull up the finished shawl. There, I'm moving around. Here is the finished shawl. So I am gonna roll it around so you can see the good side. I'm going to drape it across my chest. There we go. Here's the finished shawl. And I am about, with my hair in it because I've been sitting on it and I shed a lot. Here's where we are so far. And can you see the motif here? See these little diamond motifs right here? There's one. That's what we're making. This is multiple repeats and then multiple segments. So here's where your make one knit front backs happen, is there's wedges that are forming in this. It's a huge shawl. I am 1/3 of the way in, so I'm about down to here. I've got 2 more repeats to go, and then we have a big edge, so that's what's coming. And if you're working on this and you're having trouble, let me know. Put some questions up. Last time on the beginner's knit along, I showed you how to figure out, like, say I'm short a stitch, or I've got 1 stitch too many. Where may have I gone wrong? So I don't really feel like I need to show you those sorts of things this time. I'll definitely put a link to those videos in the info below so that you can go look at them with ideas. So for example, if you're short a stitch between your stitch markers, it usually means you forgot to do a yarn over, or you dropped it on your purl row back. If you have 1 too many, you probably forgot to do a slip knit, or a knit 2 together, or in this case, a central double decrease, or the one that has a little 3 marked on it. That's probably what you forgot to do. I do know that the distance between my stitch markers is getting larger, and so it probably in this next section, depending on how it goes for me, I will put in some extra stitch markers so that it's not so wide between, so that it's easier for me to keep track of how many stitches I have. Therefore, I won't get lost if I drop something. I can check real quick, like every 10, every 15. And you kind of have to look at the pattern to decide where that is. Now, I'm going to take my Post-it off, so let's make sure and not forget where it goes. Kelly put it in every 10 on this. So probably up here, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put stitch markers in on these red lines. Now be careful, because see that yarn over that happens right after that stitch marker? That's going to be a situation where I might need to be careful. The other thing I'm going to have to do is, because of the repeats on this, I really need to put special markers in where I do the repeat, because this is just going to be marking stitch numbers for me. I'll need to have one out here, one here, and one at the other end that shows me that it's time to repeat this diagram all over again. So there's some things we're going to have to be careful of and keep track of. I'm going to have to think on the next section. It might be a little more complicated. This was easy though. Just follow the chart. Do exactly what it says. The stitches that show up on each row should be equal to what you have, and then we'll move on for there. In the meantime, that's it for today. Isn't that? There's not a lot to say. Questions, send them. Put them in the comments below. Send photos to the Instagram at twistedpicot.com. In Instagram, I'll put the links below. Or email us, or Facebook. And let me know how your knit-along is going. We've had a few stragglers get ordered, so I'm hoping other people are doing the knit-along as well. If you are and you want some friends to join you, let them know. And in the meantime, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell. There'll be more knit-alongs coming up. I kind of have a hankering for a Fair Isle, like hardcore vest. So that's coming. And more lace too. Let's see, what else do I need to say? Oh, Saturday will be another trip. Second day in Oslo, we go to the wonderful National Museum. And I may have to break that into 2 videos because there was so much good stuff. All right, I'll see you on Saturday. Bye.